Good morning, traders. It is the 21st. No, yes, Tuesday, the 21st. Looking at my calendar, and I can't believe how fast time is flying by. Tuesday, the 21st of October. Seems like just the other day it was last year. Welcome to today's Traders Daily Discipline. I'm your host, Jason Allen. Thanks for coming. Don't have any house cleaning today. Just want to get right to work for you. And here's our quote of the day to get us started. It says this: the more alternatives, the more difficult the choice. And that, of course, was said by, of all people, Abby D'Alinvial, who I could not find on the web. I found a lot of different answers to this. I got the impression that this individual is probably a lesser well-known winemaker. I think they made, in France, they owned a small maison and did grown and bottling wine. I think, not sure. But in any case, the more alternatives, the more difficult the choice. And I thought, when we look at our trading process, we're looking for the best opportunity that we can find. Now, we think that that might mean the market, meaning under certain conditions, markets are more violent and trend longer and things like that. And oftentimes, that's true. But sometimes the problem is inside our own head. Sometimes watching too many markets can be an issue for us. Maybe you're watching too many markets. You're watching 8 or 12 opportunities instead of only 3 or 4. Also, the number of choices involved in managing the opportunities you find can be overwhelming. For example, most people believe the choice that they have to trade, there's only 2, maybe 3. There's I can either go long, or I can go short, or I can stay out completely. And that's, on a novice level, that's basically true. But I've discovered that there's actually 12 choices present when you're looking at a market opportunity. And those 12 choices, if they're not clearly defined before you look at the market, you're going to be in a position where it's more difficult to make the best choice. And part of the reason why most people go long at the wrong times or short at the wrong times very consistently is because they're not aware of the 12 choices that are present when any market opportunity is presenting itself. I could go through those 12 choices with you, but I think in fairness to the time element, we should just leave those for discussion at a later time. Quite frankly, it would take a few minutes to do that, and that might be of interest to you. I discussed the 12 choices in my book, The Psychology of Trading, which is available on Amazon on Kindle, as well as Apple Store on Apple Books. I also discussed that inside the Psychology of Trading section in netwinningtrader.com. If you'd like to know a little bit more about that, you're welcome to send me an email, and maybe I can get a minute to send you something back that'll just kind of give you an introduction. But the fact of the matter is, those 12 choices are there all the time. And if you're not careful, you'll make the wrong one. And that really is why most of the time, I believe, people end up losing consistently in the markets. But be that as it may, the more alternatives there are, the more difficult the choice. I think that that's absolutely true in this business, because we tend to think we've only got 1 or 2 choices, maybe 3. In reality, there's a whole world of choices that we got to be careful about. And if we don't define them properly, that might be part of why we have consistent losses as opposed to consistent gains. So maybe we'll save that for another day. By the way, before I get too far down the road, just want to mention, I'll have more for you. I'll send it out on an email. But I just got asked to speak at an online trading forum, Timing Research, and I'll have the details for you next few sessions, or I'll send it out to you in the email. If I remember correctly, we're due to speak on November 6th. So we'll talk more about that later. In the meantime, guys, I hope you have a great day. My pleasure to be with you. I want to give you the best head start I can, best 5 to 8 minutes at the start of your day. is Trader's Daily Discipline, let's hope. And I hope I've given you something to think about and to consider. In the meantime, I will see you on Wednesday tomorrow. Good luck, good trading. See you then. Thanks.